Canada exposed. New builders are leaving homeowners with $34,000 in bills, and the warranty will not cover it. $812,000 for a new build. A $34,000 repair bill. Zero warranty coverage. One family in Mississauga found out the hard way that Canada's new home warranty was never designed to protect them. Today, I show you exactly how that design works and what you need to know before you sign anything. Let me start with a phrase that makes this entire system possible: warranted. When a builder hands you a disclosure document at the sales center and points to the warranty coverage outlined on page 11, they are using that word to do an enormous amount of work. It implies protection. It implies accountability. It implies that someone with authority is standing between you and a bad outcome. Here is what it does not imply, because no one explains this part. The warranty on a new home in Ontario is not administered by the government. It is not enforced by an independent regulator. It is not funded by a body whose financial interest is aligned with yours. It is administered by Tarion, a not-for-profit corporation funded primarily by builder registration fees and new home enrollment fees. The people paying into the system are the same people whose work the system is supposed to police. That structure has a name in every other industry. It is called a conflict of interest. In Ontario's new construction market, it is called consumer protection. The Auditor General of Ontario reviewed Tarion in 2019 and found that the organization was more focused on managing its own financial exposure than on advocating for the homeowners it was created to serve. Tarion disputed those findings. The structural conflict it identified remains completely unchanged. That is the foundation everything else is built on. Failure point 1. The coverage windows. Most buyers, when they hear new home warranty, imagine something comprehensive, something that covers the building they just spent $800,000 on for a meaningful period of time. Here is what the coverage in Ontario actually looks like. 1 year for workmanship and materials. 2 years for mechanical systems, plumbing, and the building envelope. 7 years for major structural defects. Those windows sound reasonable until you understand how they interact with how defects actually develop. A moisture infiltration problem caused by improperly installed window flashing does not announce itself the week you move in. It builds invisibly inside the wall cavity for 2, 3, sometimes 4 years before the drywall shows a stain or the framing starts to smell. By the time you can see it, you may already be outside the 2-year building envelope window. By the time you can prove it with an inspector, a remediation quote, a paper trail, you are almost certainly outside it. This is not a flaw in the design of the warranty. This is the design of the warranty. The gap between when a defect is created during construction and when it becomes visible to the homeowner is often longer than the coverage window that should catch it. That gap is where builder liability goes to disappear. And when you do file a claim inside the window, the first move, every time, without exception, is reclassification. A construction defect becomes a maintenance issue. A systemic installation failure becomes normal settlement. A moisture problem caused by a missing vapor barrier becomes condensation from the homeowner's lifestyle. The burden of proof sits entirely with you. You are a working family with a mortgage. They are a corporation with an in-house warranty department and legal counsel that has handled this exact dispute 500 times before. The playing field is not uneven. It is not a field. Failure point 2. The builder licensing gap. Here is something that should be front-page news and almost never is. In Ontario, a builder can lose their Tarion registration, effectively their license to sell new homes, and in some documented cases continue operating through a related corporate entity while disputes with homeowners remain completely unresolved. The volume building industry in this province is structured specifically to limit liability at the project level. The parent company with the recognizable name is not the entity on your purchase agreement. The entity on your purchase agreement is a numbered company, a project-specific shell that may not exist in the same legal form by the time you need to enforce a claim against it. This is not speculation about how things might work. This is how they are structured. Between 2020 and 2024, the Ontario Home Builders Association and multiple consumer advocacy groups raised documented concerns about builders who accumulated unresolved Tarion claims across multiple projects without facing license suspension. The mechanism for accountability exists on paper. The threshold for triggering it has historically been high enough that a significant volume of complaints can accumulate before any regulatory action occurs. The homeowner who bought from a builder currently under multiple unresolved claims has no way of knowing that without specifically searching the Tarion Builder Directory. This is a step that almost no buyer takes before signing a purchase agreement because no one in the sales center mentions it exists. Failure point 3. The illegal builder problem. This is the layer beneath the licensed builder problem, and it is growing. Tarion's own annual reports have flagged the issue of unlicensed builders, contractors operating without Tarion registration who are nonetheless selling new homes, often through assignment agreements, private listings, or informal referral networks. A homeowner who buys from an unlicensed builder has no warranty coverage at all. None. They are buying an asset worth 6 or 7 figures with exactly the same consumer protection as a used car purchased from a private seller. In the Greater Toronto Area's hot market years, unlicensed builders benefited from the same demand pressure that licensed ones did. Buyers were moving fast, due diligence was compressed. Many people were not asking whether this builder was registered with Tarion at nearly the rate it needed to be. The consequences are predictable. Defects surface. The homeowner calls Tarion. Tarion tells them the builder was never registered. The homeowner has no claim. The builder has dissolved or restructured. A $34,000 remediation bill lands entirely on the family that trusted a process they assumed had safeguards built into it. The safeguard was supposed to be mandatory registration. The enforcement of that mandate has been inconsistent enough that unlicensed activity persists at scale. Failure point 4. The conciliation trap. When a homeowner and a builder cannot resolve a warranty dispute directly, Tarion offers a process called conciliation. A Tarion inspector visits the property, assesses the claim, and makes a determination. If the claim is substantiated, the builder is directed to make the repair. If the builder does not comply, Tarion can step in and perform or fund the repair itself. That is how the process is described. Here is how it functions. The Tarion inspector is not your inspector. They are Tarion's inspector. Their job is to make a determination that is defensible to both parties, which in practice means determinations that are conservative, that give builders the benefit of the doubt on causation, and that are calibrated to manage Tarion's own financial exposure, not to maximize your recovery. When the Auditor General reviewed this process, they found cases where Tarion conciliation determinations systematically narrowed the scope of what was covered, required homeowners to go through multiple rounds of dispute before accessing remedies they were entitled to under the original policy terms, and in some cases produced outcomes where the homeowner spent more in professional fees and lost time than the value of the repair Tarion ultimately authorized. The process is not designed to be adversarial. It produces adversarial outcomes because the incentives of the administrator are structurally misaligned with the interests of the claimant. A $34,000 remediation quote that Tarion reclassifies as a $6,000 workmanship repair after an 18-month conciliation process that costs you 2 independent inspector reports and a legal consultation is not a warranty paying out. It is a warranty systematically paying less than it owes while appearing to function. Now I want to talk about what is actually changing, because this is not entirely a static picture. In 2021, the Ontario government passed the New Home Construction Licensing Act and created the Home Construction Regulatory Authority, HCRA, as a separate licensing body for builders and vendors distinct from Terrion's warranty function. The intent was to separate the regulatory and warranty functions that had both sat inside Terrion for decades. That separation matters on paper. The HCRA now has explicit authority to investigate builder conduct, impose conditions on licenses, and suspend or revoke them, independent of whether a warranty claim has been filed. Early results have been mixed. The HCRA has taken action against unlicensed builders at a higher rate than the previous regime. It has also been slower than consumer advocates hoped in processing complaints and publishing enforcement outcomes. The structural problem, a warranty system funded by the industry it oversees, was not solved by the HCRA's creation. Terrion still administers claims. The conciliation process is structurally unchanged. The coverage windows are structurally unchanged. The reclassification playbook that builders run on every disputed claim is structurally unchanged. What changed is that the licensing function now has a separate body with separate authority. Whether that body has the teeth to use that authority consistently is a question that 3 years of operation has not fully answered. So what does this mean if you are buying or if you have already bought? If you are still pre-purchase, the Terrion Builder Directory at terrion.com is not optional reading. It is the first thing you look at before you take anything else the sales center tells you seriously. Every builder has a public record of unresolved claims, license conditions, and regulatory history. Most buyers never look at it. The buyers who do not look at it are the buyers who end up calling Terrion from a flooded basement, wondering why the process is not working the way the brochure described. Verify that your builder is also registered with HCRA. The two registries are separate. A builder can be Terrion enrolled for warranty purposes and still have HCRA license conditions that tell you something important about their track record. Check both. Before the drywall goes up, before the mechanical systems are buried, and the problems they contain become invisible, hire an independent inspector with documented new construction experience. Not the inspector the builder recommends, your inspector. A pre-drywall inspection in Ontario runs between $400 and $700. For that, you get a written record of every unsealed penetration, every improperly lapped membrane detail, every rough-in that does not meet the standard it was supposed to meet. That document is your evidence base if the dispute comes later. On possession day, PDY, your pre-delivery inspection, is a legal document. Treat it as one. Everything you note on that form is a written acknowledgement of a defect the builder is obligated to address under the warranty. Everything you do not note is an omission you cannot easily recover later. Do not let the builder's rep rush you. Do not let move-in excitement compress your attention. Bring someone whose only job that day is to look at the building critically. And if you are already in a dispute, if you are the family with the basement or the mold or the quote that does not match what the warranty is prepared to cover, understand that the conciliation process has an appeal path. Terrion decisions can be appealed to the License Appeal Tribunal of Ontario. That process is slower and more expensive than it should be. It is also the path that has produced outcomes for homeowners that conciliation alone did not. The system is not broken in the sense of being non-functional. It functions exactly as it was designed to function, with the financial interests of the administrator and the industry that funds it running parallel to, but not coincident with, the interests of the person who bought the house. Knowing that is not pessimism. It is the difference between walking into that conciliation meeting as someone who trusts the process and walking in as someone who understands it. The family in Mississauga trusted the process. They are still fighting. Do not be them. If you found this interesting, check out this video here.